one. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen as this game now finally has managed to make their way in. The time is starting. The 30 minutes are not going to be, well, they are going to be clocking down, but there is going to be a half system here, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for that one. England versus France here, as we have England in the blue and France in the red, making their way through the first middle here. My name is Pledge. Admirable's here. Arie's on the camera, and on Vanilla TV, we're getting our way into the first middle.
England gonna roll out from the big door, then work their way up to the left-hand side. Frags have been traded though. Demo Man down for France. K3 goes down as well, and quickly both soldiers die in succession. Now England looking strong here on this first middle. Numlock's gonna just go beast mode and chase down a bunch of frags there. He did pick up 4 on that middle. Pretty decent.
Pretty decent for a Demo Man that came off winning the I-49 TF2 World Championships and now making his way towards that lobby hand side. He's going to just lock French people down as much as he possibly can. The win limit gets changed, not the right configs. Doesn't matter if you have an ETF2L admin in your lineup, you're still going to get it wrong. That's just the way it is. It's now 100% Uber versus 35. I see some very clear advantage here for England. They're going to make their way through and just going to play it very safe. They know they have a big window here to make it happen, so they don't want to lose any sort of player to a sticky trap. And we see a scout down maneuver coming in from main. Flippy blocks them out for as long as he possibly can. So they're doing a surprisingly good job here. Only now gets taken down, and 2 English players have already dropped here, James.
Yeah, real strong defense there from France, overturning that massive Uber disadvantage. Now they realise Numlock's trying to juke them. There's players going to last here. They were about to push out there with Captain Hacks and K3. They come back almost in time to block it, but there's just too many blue players unaccounted for. And that is just a little bit of over-eagerness there from the French. I admire their gall. Oh, no pun intended. But it didn't work out for them that time.
Yeah, definitely. As England gets that 1-0 lead on the board, the French are going to have to try and get back into that one. As both of the medics and their team make their way through. No weird rollouts or anything just yet. I can't see any weird roaming bombs flying across the screen. Both of the teams are going to be playing it easy. Very passive middle so far. It looks like the first one actually jumping is going to be Flisco. He gets that pick there on Takuna. 2 for 2, 3 for 2 right now. And once again, it is Numlock just leading the charge. And he did end up going down in the process, but he got a lot of damage done before he did. K3 is the last man standing onto this one. England picks up the second middle, and K3 is only running for his life here against Flisco. He gets taken down as well. That is a devastating middle for France.
Yeah, Kuna really not getting the protection, or else not positioning himself smartly enough on middle, but twice he's died to that bombing soldier. K3 did manage to survive almost long enough and then eventually die, and that's going to put his team at an even bigger disadvantage. I'm going to watch the French scouts on the next middle and see exactly what they're doing to deny these soldiers, but right now it looks like England are going to push ahead even before they've capped this. There's only ×1 on that point. They're going to push with both scouts, Demoman and that extra soldier. They're in position here. Oh, one scout goes back. They're in position here on lower. They're going to wait for the full 6 to be ready to push, and they come again. That Pyro denies. I mean, you think he would have learned his lesson, but Numlock chooses to go main again. He will survive, but will get actually taken down by T-Mac, who comes in from the behind there. Flippy picks up spin, but there's a scout on the point and no one's close enough. Oh! He rocket jumps himself back there. Unlucky, that was T-Mac.
That's the one time you don't want to shoot feet to kill stuff, James, that's for sure. So just blasted himself off the point. And Butno stepping it up for his team, grabbing that cap and putting the 2-0 on the board. England so far looking unbelievably good. This is their map choice, the very first one in this best of 3 in the ETF2L Nations Cup quarterfinals, the 4th Nations Cup actually in total. And England and France are duking it out here in this third middle.
Kuno looking very scared here in the middle. He's got 2 scouts around him. He puts down 8 stickies on the ground. Doesn't do any damage with his initial stickies. They're just trying to gain control, and already they've lost Avage and T-Mac. There was no follow-up damage there from Kuno. The mind games are in effect. The soldiers jumped in and distracted him. Numlux is going to finish him off with a little help there from XD. That is Flisco, of course. And there's Flippy is going to get Numlocked. He was going in for the wipe yet again. France really need to pull out all the stops here in middle, or else just put the brakes on Pledge and try and survive for a middle, because they're losing that middle and 4th point every time due to these large player losses.
Yeah, I just cannot believe what's going on right here with France at the moment. It's just a lineup issue that they're having at the moment. Very clearly, I'm looking at the stats that we have. You guys can see the stats showing up on your screen any time as well, like after middles and stuff like that. Kuna's nowhere near on the high damage list. He's just not getting anything done right now. And especially for Delman, that's the thing you want to do. Now, finally, France, they have an Uber to defend against this one. Let's see if it's going to work any better than it did last time as the exchange comes out. Top right-hand side. Looks like we have a very even exchange. Spin gets taken down by Captain Axe, but now here comes the follow-up. Because the French, they need to put this down efficiently, and they did this last couple of times, and ended up losing the points. So we see now Captain Axe and K3 making their way through. Riverside now going to go through that top-hand side, and it looks like England has decided, you know what, let's just walk all the way out. Maybe Numlock has some sort of weird sticky trap, but it doesn't look like it. Can he do it? Can he do it?
Oh,
no,
they dodged
doesn't look like it. So Numlock does get the damage done, but it's not going to be enough. He does get taken down here by Captain Axe, and the French have managed to turn it around and have a big Uber chance to play with as well.
Yeah, this is the first round. France have actually capped. They're maybe getting a little bit of a foothold in this game. Soldier's going to bomb up here and try and force K3. He serves a rocket there like a boss. He didn't have an Uber to pop anyway. And France will pick up this middle, and they have a man advantage. They can push ahead here. They need to find where Numlock is, though, before they commit to any sort of push. It looks like he's going to hold on balcony. He's got a row of stickies there waiting for those aggressive soldiers. He's looking for people to come up here. He wants them to challenge him, but if France are smart, they can just walk forward, use their own demo man to spam up and start capping the point. It's going to be Uber versus Uber, though. They will have it in time, and England might just be feeling confident enough to push, though. But as I say that, they are backing off to last. That is Curse of the Caster in full effect there.
It's pretty much what everyone does. As soon as you say push, they drop back, and as soon as you say drop back, they're just going to go in. That's the way it works. They're going to sit on last right now, just gathering their players up. No, we've seen Buttnose on heavy, but no pyros, no snipers, or anything of those shenanigans as the double scout push is happening. Force that Uber out, and the scouts rush towards the point. This is the strategy we've been seeing in Prem quite a bit. Flipping Aphid going down there. Didn't have enough Uber to play with. Now Kuna, a lot of pressure onto his face. He stays alive for the time being, but the rest of the French team has just died. No problem whatsoever. And now it's England's time to push. As Kuna goes down, K3 last man standing. This player's only going to spawn in 3 seconds. That's 2 scouts you cannot really do anything with on their own.
Yeah, you know, if they had just sacrificed those 2 scouts and seen if they'd got lucky, if they'd just caught England off guard, that would be a fine trade. They could hold onto CP2 with 4 players, stall them out long enough to get those 2 fast scouts back in the game, but then they sacrificed a few more players into a situation where they were already 2 men down. It was just like a total roll of the dice, a real Hail Mary there, so not smart from the French. I hope Captain Hax is calling them out and just taking hold of this game. They need to stop doing silly things like that. They're 2 rounds down, it's almost half time. I mean, if once they lose another round, it's going to be into that intermission. There are still 22 minutes left in this half, and right now, Numlock's walking forward, doing big damage up high as he loves to, forcing players back on that balcony. They're going to be able to cap this with ease. Flippy is down. He will be respawning with a long spawn, 20 seconds. If the English opt to push here, oh! Captain Hax finds Numlock. T-Mac picks up Permzilla, and that's going to put the brakes on for England.
Yeah, I like that one. As the French just decide to focus that Uber in, and you can see a very clear. Both have a single Uber here. Stark knows he has a slight advantage. He's going to decide to drop back though as his spin just not fancy healing him right there. As now we can see England and France duking it out here on towards this big door side. A lot of damage coming out of Kuna. He's only 40 HP though. He's now found the heal beam and finally he's able to dish out some more damage as the French pick this one up. It looks like England's decided, let's play it safe. We can't fight this, but let's decide to drop back for the time being. They sit on the back inside of the middle, and I think the French are not going to waste too much time here. As Flisco, I don't know what he was doing. He was hugging the wall right there. It ended up costing him his life. As Aphid picks up that frag, and it's a 6 for 5 in favour of the Reds.
Yeah, just looking at these damage stats, Kuna is really troubling to compete with Numlock right now. But I thought he would do a better job. But on this middle fight, Captain Hags, it does drop as Flisco respawns. It looks like most of the French team are going to back out and give this one up. Their combo has retreated. It's choke forced out by just Stark alone there. And I think they recognised their flank was weak. And without their collar, Captain Hacks up, I guess. They didn't want to just commit to that push. They're going to take up a strong position up top here and allow England to go for it. Numlock's going to jump up and just hide on that upper balcony, dropping stickies on. He's eating a few rockets there. He's on the full heal here from Spin, who is just milking his Uber, milking it, and the French, they're flailing in the wind here, man.
This is just beautiful. Spin held that one for forever, basically. As right now there's these French players dying. That's gotta be the 3-0 on the board. As right now Kuna is pretty much the last man to die. Flippy is alive, T-Mac as well. He has only just spawned, and there's a raging rampage of English players ropping towards this point as Gullywash last. It's quite an easy one to cap if you just kind of stack it when the enemy doesn't have a down man alive. And at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, the scoreline is 3-0 in favour of England here over the French. And again, on Monday, when they had the Highlander final, it took them a whole map in order to get their facts straight. Maybe now it only takes them a half. That would be very nice.
If I'm France now, you know, I start trying to just break England's stride. I'm running Flippy Sniper in the middle. I'm running Kritzkrieg I'm just doing whatever I can to make it uncomfortable for them. Sit back, defend your sniper, let these aggressive soldiers jump into you if they want, and see what Flippy can do. Can he roll the dice and get a few headshots? You know he's good.
I think the chat has been mentioning a couple of times. We've been mentioning as well. I think that Kuna has not caught a break just yet. I think that is the main thing that's been going on throughout this game so far. Is that Numlock really just has his number? It's the way it is. And Numlock, let's be honest, he is one of, if not the best downman in the game. I mean, we've seen the stats. Epsilon won the World Championships, right? There's not really anything to argue with that one. Very clearly, England is just playing onto that one. Kuna not really able to do anything against his counterpart for the time being. And even though he did okay in that last round, him and Numlock were about even on damage in that last round. The first two was just a complete wreckage, and Kuna couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I think at some point during that round I just managed to open up the stats window and I was actually looking at Stark, who was way out in front with the damage, so small correction there.
Still is.
But I mean, I can't deign to tell anybody how to play Demo Man. I'm even banned from playing it in Pickup 2. But, I mean, if you're thinking about your middle strategies here, and every middle you're getting shut down, you do something different, you try and stay out of the fight for a little bit, find a different timing window there. So, like, you did see on that third round, just put a load of stickies around him, but he really wasn't doing anything for the team. There's like a balance to find there. Can I stay alive long enough or come out at the right moment? And that's something that Numlock's great at finding those timings, even though he is the slowest Demo Man in the Prem.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying. Cadus would have been faster at middles, but Numlock's doing a pretty great job so far. Stark, again, he's the guy who's putting the damage on the board so far. Let's see if he can carry his team forward here, as England with a 3-0 lead. Starting the second half, fourth middle now going live. Kuna a lot more aggressive this time. Hits a couple of pipes, hits a couple of stickies. Is it going to be enough for the rest of the French to follow up, though? They get the kill to Numlocked, and they exchange frags here, and it looks like the French coming out of the starting positions here a lot more aggressive and a lot better than they did last time around. It looks like they are going to pick up their first middle of the game.
Yeah, couldn't really just thrown to the wolves there though. He did a lot of damage, but he was literally on his own. He had nobody around him. He was all alone there. He was like the bait. They went for him, and then the French jumped up and managed to trade a few frags. I'm not sure if that's that strategy, but like he's getting no heals on middle, either because he's instantly dead, or K3 is just playing this soldier-centric heal strategy during the mid-fights. He's just giving it to Captain Hacks, T-Mac, the scouts, whoever. Right now we are seeing France just playing around at choke here. There's a scout looking, he's going to get caught out. That is Flippy, who was positioned over at the rock. Numlock just put down that line of stickies, that force field that no one can escape through. Right now it's going to turn it into a stalemate. How do you expect this one to turn out, Pledge? Will England push, or will they wait for France?
I expect the English to look. I expect to look and be like, can we not? And maybe try and get a pick on the flank. You see them being very aggressive, right? Flisco's looking. They know Flisco's weak. He's probably going to pay for this with his life. And now it's French time, that's for sure. As both Flisco and Permzilla end up going down here. It might cost the English. Could have pushed 6 versus 5, but now 6 versus 4 in favour of the Blues. You can see them make their way in right now as this massive fight is about to happen here. Both Ubers get exchanged. The Uber from Spin is actually unbelievably late right here, but he only has 3 players to work with, while there's 6 French players all around, swarming around that second point. We can see a scout just completely ignoring Numlock right there. I think it was Aphid. He's completely ignored Numlock, decides, you know what, capping is a lot more important. It's going to give him this point. And the English, they're dropping back. They lost Spin in the process, obviously. There is going to be an advantage here, but the French, instead of what the English did earlier on in the game, they're not going to push. They're going to play it safe, build off the Uber, then go in.
Look at the stats as well, man. The soldiers of France really filling that void that's been left by Kuna. They've picked up 7 frags so far this round between them. T-Mac out in front there. Now Captain Hacks is just edged ahead in the damage as we get updated. Soldiers are really doing work here. And now let's see how they're going to be involved in this Uber push, as France sitting with an advantage. They're going to push on the button to get some value for money from this advantage. Here they come. They're going to lead Soldier and Demo Man. Captain Hacks getting flashed there just as the heavy starts to focus him down. Kuna doing a lot of damage with those stickies. They forced England into the point, but no one from France is playing the point right now. They're going to go straight for frags, it seems. Everybody from England turned around to focus that point. Now Kuna's got a real opportunity to do loads of damage with stickies. He gets 2 now. Oh, this guy just runs on, and Aphid is going to get that one for free against 2.
Yeah, they played the fragging game, but they played the fragging game on the point, which just confused everyone a little bit, as both of the soldiers of England had to go and try and block that one. It ended up costing both Stark and Flisco's life, as Kuna was just spamming that all over, and Aphid ended up cleaning that one up. Well played to them, as right now there's a 3-1 on the board. The French may be back into this game.
The French scouts are putting time on that point. Both of them up there getting time on. The England are playing a much slower game now. Permzilla and Flisco with an amazing focus fire there onto Kuna, hitting with a rocket and a scattergun practically at the same time. Captain Hax is the man up on the nipple there. He's taken the full brunt of the English firepower, and with those frags already coming in, he is focused down immediately. There is a player behind. That's Aphage behind enemy lines there. K3 is trying to run for his life. He's just made it to the men pack. He gets juggled straight up in the air by a nice rocket from Flisco just in front of his feet, and he will not make it to last.
No, not going to be anywhere because K3 dies. And again, he dies so unbelievably late that England can do pretty much once. Like a point something, maybe Team can show us a of just awesomeness, basically, if he can get something done, but he's just sitting on last doing nothing. A little bit surprised with all of that. I mean, either you defend 6 versus 5 against an Ubercharger against 6 versus 6, it really doesn't make that much of an influence unless you can force them early, and we can see right now that Spin pops that Uber on off. We do get the sentry gun going down, but again, it seems like England is having trouble pushing through these main areas, and it's more the follow-up push that is being very successful for them. Even without Flisco, they have more than enough damage to make something happen, but then Captain Axe just shows up, gets a lot of damage in, and the damage is going to be more than enough to push the English back. Here comes Flisco. He tries to jump on in there. He gets the kill to Flippy. Both Flisco and Butnose going down to the power of the combo. Even though K3 is only just now spawning, there's a disadvantage here, and I actually am reading the chat saying that I'm robotic once again, guys. I do apologize. My internet is pretty terrible, James, so once I'm going robotic, please cut me out and tell me go
I thought
away.
you were being auto-tuned there. I was waiting for it to burst into a melody. It didn't sound that bad, to be honest. I mean, I'm
Okay,
Irish.
well,
I'm used to per connections.
yeah, I guess that's the way it is. I do apologize, guys, obviously. I should be having better internet connection in the future. But, for now, England versus France.
Yeah, right now, England coming back in here. They've managed to pick up Kuna, who was all alone there on 2. There was a little bit of back and forth leading up to this, but now with Demo Man down and still no Uber for K3, he's about to get it in the next few seconds. Numlock's already in, so we do see the soldier of T-Mac jumping in to try and take eyes away, but Numlock's just going to go straight for the point and try and stick himself off, but K3's Uber comes in time, so Numlock was just slightly off with that. He will get flamed on and taken out by Aphage's scattergun, and France are now trying to hold from the lower ground. It would be wise to get up top. A soldier's going to jump in, make a play for the point, but he finds a pyro, and that's always tough to deal with. K3 grabs a sneaky salter, but goes for the second. And now it's up to Kuna to try and do work here on 49 HP, but the spawn comes in from both soldiers, and they will hold Numlock, the only man on the scene here. He's getting chased by a scout pledge.
Oh, I cannot believe... Like, it's a little bit greedy. It's a little bit greedy from Numlock. He knew K3 went down. He was like, they're not going to push. It's going to be perfectly fine. He jumps in there. Aphage is waiting for him to jump, puts the meat shots in the face, and Numlock goes down and gives the French the point, even though they had no medic. The English just didn't have the players to actually manage to make that one work as the French pick up the second point. The Ubercharge is not actually that far apart. The French might try and act on this one. Numlock's already back into the fray though, and he's sticking that choke point up.
Look at Spin, he's rocking that crits Krieg, and he's working up quite an advantage with it. K3 doesn't have it. Now, will they spot that particle in time? Will they recognise its crits? Because right now, with this forward hold position that they're adopting, they can be punished. If they were holding in the much favoured, much more sensible, less risky upper balcony side, they might survive this crits Krieg. But Numlock's about to pop off! His first one is just wide. The crits must have been called because they're going to move into choke here and just make sure the combo survives, but now they have to turn around and help that flank. T-Mac's gone down already. The scouts of France are in without help from their combo, and something's actually happened at middle. No, they've just walked around aimlessly. They're going to lose last now, and this is a bit of an anticlimax.
It's really the only decision the French could have made, but they got occupied so much onto middle right there, they couldn't actually return back to second point. But very clearly the English picked this one up. 4-1 is on the board. Guys, don't forget, in the system that we play in the Nations Cup, there is a 30-minute time limit, but it's 30 minutes per half, and there's a win limit of 5. So right now it's match point in favour of the English. With 4-1 on the board, it's going to be very difficult for French to put a comeback down. We'll have to wait and see, though. 6th middle, James, as we can see the scouts actually doing quite a bit of pressure here for the French. Can they manage to make something happen? It's T-Mac with the big bomb flying through the air, getting that kill there on the spin. It might prove to be very valuable for French to pick up this middle. They lose Kuna once again, though, and the English, especially Butnose, picks up a double. Permzilla picks up the third for the scouts there, and if Butnose can finish this kill onto Aphage, he's 1 HP, hit that shot. Permzilla gets taken down there at the very end. 1 HP Aphage is going to stay alive, and especially on that middle, look at the work the scouts did, specifically for the French. 400 damage on both of the scouts. for the French team.
Yeah, the important thing for me was that Kuna actually got some backup. Captain Hacks just walked straight up that right-hand side, brought K3 with him. Even though he didn't survive too long or even do too much damage, he was there, and definitely some nice flank interplay there with the scouts and T-Mac holding players in place and picking up frags, doing a lot of damage. Right now, it is going to be another stalemate. This is TF2. You know you love stalemates. Both teams just filling each other out here, trying to find picks on the flanks. Luckily, with this NA rule set, fronts do have enough time. They've got 20 minutes here to come back with 3 rounds in response. Otherwise, it might have been game over, eh, Pledge?
Yeah, I guess that's the way it is. We'll have to wait and see. The French are just holding unbelievably defensive, waiting until they have that Uber to actually move forward. They're going to try and get some stuff done here.
Mr.
Gets a
Crits.
kill to Kuna. Yeah, it is a crits, but the Uber's going to happen right now. See Captain Axe and the rest of the boys just making their way in with that Uber charge, getting a lot of players down. Captain Axe here, still 300 HP onto that one. He gets the double rocket there onto Flisco, takes him down. And this might immediately put a round on the board here for the French, as the 42 should be coming out. Captain X picks up a triple. Can he pick up a fourth? Yes, he can. Not before his medic went down, though, so that his pocket job not being successful, but the round gets picked up, and there's a 4-2 on the board. The French so far in the lead in this half.
That was a nice little bit of scout interplay there. You saw Permzilla was behind at the rock. He was probably calling for Buttnose to come in, that he had them distracted. As Captain Hacks turned around and K3 was just AD, but it wasn't enough to dodge the Scargan. Buttnose got that frag, but it didn't matter. Anyway, we're on to another middle. Kuna's going to push up that right-hand side. Numlock's going to come elbow and find himself trapped out here. Kuna, again, not getting any heals, any love at all. He is the bait. Soldier jumps in and immediately cleaned up by the French soldiers, but Numlock is going to pick up T-Mac, who gets juggled into choke. Numlock has a solid position here, but he can't really stay in and fight here. Or can he? No, the French are just going to run. Captain Hacks has called the retreat, it seems. But, there's a flank on Athens and Flippy doing work.
Oh, unbelievably good play from the scouts once again. As Flippy and Aphids get the kills done. Air shot, no air shots. Can the follow-up kill happen? He does get the kill into Numlocked, and I honestly thought right there that K3 might have ended up going down to Numlocked. He's going to stay alive. K3 is going to be perfectly fine. The medic who never dies is proving to be very vulnerable this game, that's for sure. But Captain Axe so far doing a perfectly fine job at protecting. He's getting a lot of damage done, a lot of frags onto scouts so far. The French, they might actually prove to be ready for the comeback of the century. 4-1 down, but with 4-2 on the board, they're pushing towards the English with a massive advantage here, James.
Yeah, Captain Hacks looking to add to his tally of 3 frags at the minute. He's poised, he's ready with that Uber charge to play that serious pocket style. He's been spotted going in lower. They're gonna actually pop off as Flisco trades with Captain Hacks. Nice force there from Flisco. It's earned them a nice Uber advantage as they just walk in here, and it's faded. Numlocked is poised. Oh, he's just sitting above them, spamming out Sticky after Sticky. He's going to be doing a lot of damage for his scouts and remaining soldier to clean up. Sneaky play there from Numlocked, just hiding on that pipe, exactly where you wouldn't expect him to be. They knew they were going to push lower because of that Uber force. Wow, this guy's a mastermind, Pledge.
Yeah, well played from the England. They sort of realised what the situation was going to be, decided to play on it. And look at that, the French actually going hard. Big Thor, they've only now been spotted. Permzilla takes that one Sticky, but that's pretty much going to be it. Look at the English health, all of them below 100 HP, working towards medpacks, and the French, they're a lot healthier right now, but the English are playing for it. They're picking up the frags, the focus fire, very well played here from the boys in red as Kuna goes down. Flippy had already gone down, and T-Mac is sort of stuck upstairs, kills Flisco though, and that's a little bit of great play of MGE right there coming out of the French, and that actually might prove to be very valuable as the English, they're pushing right now, but the Uber gets forced off as we both see the Flippy snipers on. Numlocked is caught, he is going to get taken down. It takes a while though for Captain Axe to kill him, and even though he gets taken down, Captain Axe picks up a double. With Stark and Numlocked both going down here, Spin, he is still alive, he almost has that Uber charge, but is he going to be in time to block this second point? I doubt it, because look at Kuna and Captain Axe, they get position, they got damage done, and even though the English might be looking to push here, they don't really have the players and the health to make it happen anymore.
Flippy poised to get a headshot. Oh! Spin goes down. Uber just for night there, man. It's going to be 60% for K3. They should push now when they know there's no medic. They got to use that heal advantage. Go for it, try and get another frag, and they do find Permzilla on the flank. That was a cheap frag to give away. It looks like they're going to wait for charge, they're not going to go in. They're going to make sure they're invulnerable before they tangle with Numlocked.
Well, they've been doing this multiple times throughout the game already. They like to wait, they like to just play it very safe. Flippy doesn't play very safe, that's for sure. Heal that medic, yes, there we go. finally as K3 links it up with Captain Axe. The points are going on the board. The kills are getting thrown down. There's still a lot of English players left alive, but Numlock is down. That means it's 2 soldiers and a medic versus, well, pretty much no one. As the pulse comes out, and the cap is going to happen, guys. We're going to have a sort of climax going up towards the capture, but it is going to happen.
Are you sure?
We can all. I think we can all safely assume.
Is Captain Hack's going to crater? T-Mac's going to get pistol down by the quad Permzilla pistol.
105 HP versus 6 Permzilla.
How's he going to hit that shot, man? He's going to fire a rocket with it. He doesn't have a shotgun. He's a roamer.
Well, if T-Mac shoots his feet again and blasts himself up in the air, then maybe. But I think we can safely assume that the French are going to put the 4-3 on the board. And that's when it gets interesting, James, because it was 4-1. If it's now 4-3, finally, because I think the last 3 middles the French won, maybe the last 2, but I can't vaguely remember because I think the English put that round the board 2 rounds ago. But the French have been playing a lot better the second half, that's for sure. And as I said, they started absolutely terrible on Monday as well in the Highlander Nations Cup Grand Final against the Americans. Now, it took them about a half in order to sort of figure out, okay, you know what, this is how we're going to play, and this is how we like to play. It's a lot better than this. Apparently, Stark is lagging. That's the information that we're getting. Stark is lagging, so they're just going to have a very quick pause to see what's going on. We were talking about tactical pauses on Fully Charged, James. Did Ips's mouse break again or something? Does he have mouse lag? I don't think he's in this game.
I'm telling you, man, Permzilla picks up a 3-man here on 6 HP. And the round goes on for 90 seconds. The French get very frustrated. And Flippy flips the table. Pause.
Nice. I'd like it. Flippy just flips his desk. I think that's a great way to do it. Sacre bleu! Puts everything out. Bottles of wine all over the place, just falling over. It's going to be great. Permzilla picks this one up. I called him Premzilla during, I think it was I-48. Where I was casting with Byte during the event earlier on this year, and he had an absolute fantastic performance. I don't think, I'm thinking, he still plays for Did I Stutter, I think, together with Buttnose. They're probably not going to make it into Prem unless there's some sort of Prem playoff they're going to participate in, but if he picks this one up, I'm going to put Premzilla back in business, I'll tell you that.
He can definitely do it, man. Like, the pistol at that range, it's almost 15 to 20 damage a shot.
Like,
5,
Captain
6
Axe dies
shots.
to fall damage, that's it. He just dies.
The medic might clutch it though. K3, he's rocking the crossbow. One hit will get him.
Like, we don't have the spawn times on England. So, I don't know. I think it's very tough to call. But so far, the French, they have everything just going their way for the ultimate comeback. And they've been trying this before. I think it failed last time around. I'm trying to think back to when exactly. I think it was in the last Nations Cup last year. When the French were like 4-1 down, they got back to 4-4, and then with like a minute to spare, they lost 5-4. If I vaguely remember, that was the way it is. See if I can put it back around this time. Obviously, the win limit is 5, right? That's the one thing where it changes. It's the American rule set, the North American rule set. So there is a win limit of 5. The English only have to cap once. They cannot lose 6-5 or something. There's no way. As soon as they hit that 5, as soon as they just make that match point happen, the English are going to take away here Gullywash. This is only the first map, though, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us right here on Vanilla TV, this is the ETF2L Nations Cup, the 4th one they have been running so far. This is the quarter-final between England and France. France's playing in the blue at the moment. They're trailing 4-2. Let's see if the 4-3 gets put on the board, James. Yes, it does get the board.
Captain Hacks didn't create it.
Captain Hacks didn't create, actually. That's a nice one for the stats. The HUD is going to be broken, guys. We do apologize for that one. And we can see Robot Pledge once again, guys. I really do apologize. That's the way it is. 4-3 is on the board, and the French, once again, they're still trailing, but there's a comeback in the making.
I think they're trolling you, man. You're not really a Robot Pledge.
I really don't care anymore. Go ahead, James.
Both scouts working their way around that nipple on the middle. A soldier jumps in T-Mac, and literally everybody on the England team turns around, and that allows Captain Hacks to come in and pick up his man. He gets spin, but Flisco with the exchange onto K3, but it looks like France will clean it up. It's 3-on-2 right now. Buttnose comes in. Can he get all these hero frags? No, he gets Captain Hacks, but Aphage will avenge his death.
It's what you've been saying, like, before the game. Like, Aphage is known for his DM. I wasn't completely sure. Obviously, all the Division 1 scouts that are kind of getting up there, you have to have good aim in order to play at that level. But very clearly, throughout this game, he's been doing a fantastic job just picking up these leftover frags, not really missing any sort of the crucial shots, like here and there, obviously. But He's doing a fantastic job. Breakout performance, calling it right now. If France wins this game, breakout performance for Aphage. So we can now see the French, they've picked this one up, and like both medics died there, so there's no advantages. Are the crit streaks on the board? I doubt that is the way it is. I'm just gonna have to double check. You have to check everything manually, guys. That's the way it is when HUDs break. Flisco tried to assassinate K3 there. He's gonna stay alive. And now, there we go. The old pause shenanigans have just happened. So now finally we can go about with this game. As both of these medics are just building up their charges. They're gonna have it at about identical times. It's gonna be the French who are gonna have to try and break through here.
T-Max in here on Spin. Oh, his last rocket does enough, and Spin is sent to that spawn queue. This is looking potentially good for France. K3 has popped off his Uber, but the England players are just doing the ninja vanish. They're not going to get any more frags after this one, but they will most definitely cap this point pledge.
Yeah, definitely. The French are going to pick this one up. And K3 stayed alive, did he, though? Yeah, he did, actually. He's 25% right now. Just got to look at Spin. He is only just now starting to build, so there might be a slight window here for K3 to make this one happen together with the rest of the team, and they might suicide a player. You can see one scout going into the water. He's just going to decide to sit there, though, on the edges. It looks like he's just going to be a little bit of a nuisance here towards the English team. Going to drop their way back out. You see very clearly both of these teams, they're going to be looking to see if they can make a pick happen, but I doubt we're going to see any massive fights happening until K3 hits the super in about 5 seconds.
Flisco is spawn sniping. He's sitting there just waiting to get off one shot before he changes back to Soldier. We've got a heavy from Permzilla as well. It is full turtle mode. They're steaming forward onto that point. A scout is flashed on there. They're going to get Soldier, and just everybody goes down. England waited slightly too long on that spawn. Too scared of that damage. Too scared of that Uber.
Well played, man, towards the French. They realise, you know what, Spin is probably very close to Uber, so let's walk just on the point, get that stuff done as soon as we kill Numlocked. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from a 4-1 scoreline in favour of the English, very quickly after that first half. Now, suddenly, 4-all is on the board, and when we go to this final 9th middle of the game, we're going to have to wait and see who picks this one up. French, so far, they've picked up the last 3. Can they pick up this one, James? So far, it's looking not too bad for them. But the entry frag from Permzilla onto T-Mac, and then the kill from Flisco onto Captain Axe, turning things around. And the English, for the first time in 3 or 4 middles, finally manages to turn things around once again.
Yeah, the soldiers from both sides seems to be playing that waiting game. You know, you wait for the jump and counter jump, and it's looked like Captain Hack sucked out 2 rockets, got just a little bit out damaged in that middle. And things seem to fall apart from there. Again, Kuna not really getting any love on middle. Oh, Uber popped off here. Kuna gets dropped by K3, and Spin manages to milk it significantly enough for Numlock to go in here with the full 8 seconds, try and pick up a few frags, but now he realised he's whiffed all his stickies. Will he continue, or will he go down from Zilla? Gets destroyed by Flippy, who also got Starkey there. Buttnose onto T-Mac, and France might just be able to clean up here. Numlock and Spin backing off. Numlock unable to deliver there. That was a little bit of a choke.
Flisco's on last. He knows Kuna's there. Flisco's going to go for Kuna, see if he can take him out once again. 43 HP, and Kuna goes down. And that's the French downman getting spawned kept right there by the English roamer. And when they get the pick down to Flippy as well, the French, you got to run, guys. You got to run. This is the time where you have to wave your white flag and just get the hell out of that one. As with Kuna, they just miss a massive amount of damage. Both of these medics at about the same percentages right here, as England's going to try and capitalise on the fact that Kuna isn't there just yet, but Buttnose goes down.
Wow, Numlock really just dividing and conquering there. Captain Hags was really obsessed about getting that frag onto Flisco, went up top, but didn't protect his medic. If they just stayed up top and built Uber, they would have been in a lot better situation, but somehow this has almost turned into an even fight. The Uber is popped though for England. As the respawns come in, it's going to be equal Ubers, but with a free cap for England here.
I really thought it was going to be over for the French right there, but the fact that they got that force out of Spin unbelievably late means as soon as K3 spawned, look at the percentages, it's completely even. Absolutely no straw between those two. So we can see England and France both building up those percentages, and of course, I cannot wait for about 90 seconds right now, guys. I want you all to spam Kappa faces. I'm done with this stuff. I'm completely done, guys. Thanks for watching. Genuinely, I mean, thanks for watching, because this is the end of the first map, guys. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see who won the first map. I think it's going to be a great idea. England and France making their way towards the second map, guys. There's absolutely nothing we can do about this. We do apologise. We're going to find out the scores, and when we return, guys, we'll be seeing exactly what's going to happen between England and France in the quarterfinal of the ETF2L Nations Cup, the 4th one, and who's going to move on towards the semi-final. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.